What's up, everybody? Max Digital here, where we compare everything from budget devices all the way to flagship phones and other electronics and everything in between. In this video, we're going to compare the Blu G91 on the left with the Apple iPhone 12 Pro on the right. Budget on the left, extreme flagship on the right. Let's take a look. So first, let's start off with one of the most important things of a phone is the price. We got a $150 price point on the Blu G91. That could be found on Amazon very easily. Very good price. While we have the super premium Apple iPhone 12 Pro coming in at $1,000. Now you could definitely find that iPhone 12 Pro cheaper at secondary places like Swappa, but generally it is an expensive phone. And right away, for the build quality, yes, you're going to get a plastic device. The Blu G91 is going to be plastic all around. For $150, that is expected. But for the Apple iPhone 12 Pro, no, it have to be more premium. And usually that means glass on the back, which this one has. So definitely more premium on the $1,000 iPhone versus the $150 plastic Blu G91. Moving on. On the network front, big difference here. We got LTE only on the Blu G91, while the iPhone 12 Pro has the more advanced 5G. Now, for most people, that won't make a huge difference because most apps run totally fine on LTE speeds. But if you are in a good 5G coverage area, you will notice the phone doing extremely fast things, super fast, super easily. But more than likely, LTE will do the job on both of these devices. So what's the size of these two phones? What's bigger? What's smaller? Well, the Blu G91 has a height of 6.4 inches. The iPhone 12 Pro has a height of 5.78 inches. So the Blu is taller. The width of the Blu is 3 inches. The width of the iPhone 12 Pro is 2.81. Thickness on the Blu phone is 0.35 inches. The thickness on the iPhone is 0.29. So the iPhone 12 Pro is a more overall smaller and thinner device. The weight of the G91 is 6.9 ounces or 196 grams. iPhone 12 Pro has a little bit lighter weight of 6.7 ounces and 189 grams. So yes, the iPhone is going to be lighter. So the company Blu is well known for having all their devices unlocked and having them dual SIM devices. And this is no exception. You get two SIM card slots to put in two different SIM cards with two different phone numbers or two different data plans. The iPhone does that differently. It has a SIM card slot, but also an eSIM card built in. So basically, it's your preference, but you could basically have two different cell phone plans. Good for travelers, good for for people that just like to have different cell phone carriers and different coverage on their devices. The Blu phone does not have any water or dust resistance, so it's pretty bare bones. Just don't, keep it away from bodies of water or the toilet or the pool or anything. If you have the iPhone, you do have some protection. You can dunk it in water up to 6 meters for 30 minutes if you do happen to put your phone in that situation. So a little bit of extra protection on the iPhone. Next, let's talk about the display. The Blu phone comes in with a IPS LCD at 6.5 inches. The iPhone 12 Pro has a Super Retina XDR OLED display, HDR10, with 6.1 inches. So you're getting a smaller screen on the iPhone. The screen to body ratio on the Blu is 82%. You have 86% on the iPhone. So you're getting more display on the iPhone compared to the body. Now the resolution is going to be 720. So you got HD on the Blu phone, but you have 1170 resolution. So more than full HD on the iPhone 12 Pro. Overall, you're getting a better screen quality on the iPhone 12 Pro. But it's nothing wrong with the Blu phone. Unless you hold these phones together, you'll see the difference is better quality in the iPhone. Next, we have the software on these devices. The Blu phone is rocking Android 10 with a relatively stock version of Android. iPhone is rocking the iOS 14, upgradable for around 5 years. Something you're not going to get on the Blu phone. It's not going to get upgraded with the software. As for the processors, the Blu phone has a MediaTek processor, while the iPhone has an in-house Apple A14 Bionic chip. Basically, the Blu phone has a low-end chip, while the Apple iPhone 12 Pro offers the best in-class experience. It'll chew through any app or project, no problem. Now, although one is a lower chip while Apple is flagship, most apps will work just fine for most people. It's just when you're taxing the phone with video editing and high-end graphic games, that's where the Apple iPhone will take over, while the Blu phone will probably stutter. Moving on to the internal storage, very impressive on the Blu phone because it has 128 gigs of storage, while the Apple iPhone 12 Pro also starts off at 128 gigs. I'm impressed because one is $150, the other one is $1,000. Another thing that makes the Blu phone pretty impressive is it has the micro SD card slot, so you could add even more storage to it. So big ups to the Blu phone. For the RAM, we got 4 gigs of RAM on the Blu phone, and we have 6 gigs of RAM on the Apple iPhone 12 Pro. Now, it's not going to be a big difference with day-to-day apps, but like again with the processor, if you're using a lot of apps, a lot of heavy apps, it might be a little bit of stuttering or crashing, but I don't see that coming from the iPhone. I might see that on the Blu. And 4 gigs of RAM is actually pretty good for any Android device, especially for a budget. Anything less than 3 gigs is probably going to be garbage. So 4 gigs of RAM for $150 is pretty good. Now we come to the camera. The Blu phone has 4 cameras on the back: 16 megapixel main, 5 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel macro, 2 megapixel depth. Honestly, I only care about the main camera and the ultra wide. For a short summary, the Blu phone is adequate. You won't be too disappointed, but it's not going to impress you either if you're in good light or you're outside. The Apple iPhone has a best-in-class camera. It has a 12 megapixel shooter for the main one, 12 megapixel for the telephoto, 12 megapixel for the ultra wide. So very impressive camera setup. If you really like taking pictures and videos, the iPhone will never disappoint you in any situation. Can't say the same about the Blu phone, but it'll do the job. The Blu phone can record up to 1080p, while you have 4K on the iPhone 12 Pro. Nice and crispy video on the iPhone. 1080p is not bad for the Blu phone. Moving on to the selfie, Blu phone has 16 megapixel selfie camera. iPhone has 12 megapixel camera. 1080p video on the selfie for the Blu, 4K video for the iPhone selfie camera. The Blu phone does come with the extra headphone jack, which the iPhone does not have. If you haven't fully embraced wireless, then the Blu phone will serve you well. You can connect your headphones, your mic, or your aux cord to your car. So the Blu phone, for a budget device, it has a little bit of that extra that the iPhone, the $1,000 iPhone, cannot compete with. And for those that do embrace wireless headphones and stuff like that, that's where the Bluetooth comes in. We got Bluetooth 4.0 and on the Blu, and 5.0 Bluetooth on the Apple iPhone. It doesn't really matter that it's a little bit more advanced Bluetooth on the iPhone, but both of these will connect your wireless headphones and your smartwatch and your speakers and just other tons of devices. There's no NFC on the Blu phone, while you do get it on the iPhone, but it's usually reserved for Apple Pay. We have USB Type-C port for charging on the Blu phone, and we have Lightning on the iPhone 12 Pro. Out of these two devices and their ports, I think that the USB Type-C port is more versatile because it can charge a ton of different devices like laptops and tablets, Android, MacBooks, iPads, Android tablets, you name it, headphones, it could charge that. Lightning is usually reserved for iOS devices, so you're pretty limited with Lightning. We got 2 easy ways to unlock your device. On the Blu phone, you have a fingerprint rear-mounted setup. Very easy, very reliable, and you have Face ID as the sole way to unlock your phone on the iPhone 12 Pro. Next is the battery department, and another impressive front by Blu. It has a massive 5,000 milliamp battery, while the iPhone 12 Pro has a 2815 milliamp battery. So very impressive on Blu. This 5,000 milliamp battery will definitely last you all day, especially because of the lower resolution screen and the lower end processor. So it should last you all day. The iPhone, It should last you most of the day, but I'm pretty sure you'll need to reach for a charger. Luckily, the iPhone has fast charging at 20 watts. The Blu phone has charging at 10 watts, so not really that fast. You could charge the iPhone with fast charging at 50% in 30 minutes. It also has MagSafe option for charging as well. So in conclusion, we have that classic budget value device with the Blu phone, while the premium Apple iPhone 12 Pro is going to gravitate those who want a great camera, great build material, and some decent screen, some pretty good screen on that bad boy. But other than that, the Blu phone is going to give you a lot of value that the iPhone cannot touch, such as the micro SD card slot, the built-in 128 gigs of storage. So you combine those, you got tons of storage for your music and your movies and all that stuff, your apps. Also, it has a dual SIM card slot, so if you travel a lot, that's very convenient. And the massive battery life all day on that device, everything for 150 bucks. The iPhone will definitely be worth the $1,000 for the total package. So if you have disposable income, rock that iPhone. If you want value pack and you want to sacrifice a few things such as screen quality and processor, the Blu G91 is not a bad option. There you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace out.